Okay, as promised, this video is to introduce you to another key element of studying who Jesus Christ is, namely his titles. Titles describe something of the person that the titles, well, refer to. So I have titles. Outside the university, I may be called Mr. Inside the university or in academic circles, I'm called doctor or professor. And they say something about who I am. But they do not describe everything about who I am. No more than titles addressed to you, Mr., Miss, or later if you receive titles such as boss or vice president or manager. They describe something of who you are and what you do, but they do not exhaust completely who you are. And so titles, when applied to Jesus Christ, describe but never exhaust his identity. They point to qualities of who Jesus Christ is: fully God, fully man, a human being in every way except sin. These titles do not exhaust because, as we've talked about in earlier classes, Jesus Christ is a mystery. Now, remember, mystery in theology does not mean that we know nothing. It means inexhaustibility. In other words, we never get to the bottom of who God is. We never get to the bottom, we do not exhaust who Jesus is. So titles do not exhaust who Jesus is in terms of his identity or his mission. What they do is give us portals into who Jesus is. Imagine going to a walled city. If any of you have been to Quebec City, the only walled city in North America, or a walled city in Europe, or a walled city in Asia, you will see that the wall protects the historic core of the city, and there are many gateways into that city through those walls. And so what you do to gain knowledge of the city is you go through the different portals, and you walk around within those portals. So over time, when you walk through enough portals, enough gates into that walled city, and over time explore said city through its many portals, you gain a composite knowledge of the city. You piece together the different elements that make that city special, that make that city unique, that make that city beautiful, and it gives you a fuller knowledge of that city, but never complete. You're always discovering more. And the same thing with the titles of Jesus. The titles of Jesus are portals into who Jesus is, his person and his mission. And what happens is when you explore and study enough of these titles, you get a composite portrait eventually. But that composite portrait is always going to be incomplete. Again, Jesus is a mystery. Another thing about titles. I have uploaded, along with this video, a handout of the key titles of Jesus Christ. Please download that, please print that. That's something that we're going to refer to in future classes. You will notice that with each title of Jesus, all of them have Old Testament roots. Remember what I said last class. You cannot understand Jesus, you can't understand Christianity without its Jewish roots. And these titles of Jesus are no exception. They all have Jewish roots, and what happens is we take the original meaning of these different titles in the Old Testament and we expand upon them, we build upon them. We build upon them according to what was revealed by Jesus Christ in his ministry. So there is continuity and there is change. And this gives us these composite portraits. So what I invite you to do, what I need you to do, is to, again, look up that document on the titles of Jesus and take a look at its meaning, both its original meaning in the Old Testament and how we build and expand upon that in the New, and see how these portals give you a greater picture, a better picture of who Jesus is. Now, these are key titles. These are the major titles. These are not all the titles. So what we have here is a foundational exercise. Until next class.